Here it is, the OnePlus 10T. Fastest processor, fastest charging, and $200 cheaper than the Pro model. Is this the comeback of OnePlus, or is there something we might miss? The OnePlus 10T looks very similar to the 10 Pro. The gigantic camera element is not made out of two parts and ceramic, it is instead one seamless Gorilla Glass 5. It flows organically and is painted black from the inside. I think it looks superb how the light is reflected, and it also feels great. There's no annoying dust that can gather around an edge. Fingerprints, on the other hand, are attracted by the glossy back like a crime scene evidence. I also do not quite understand why OnePlus advertises this color as green when it is much more a mix of silver and light blue. But there's also a matte black variant with a sandstone texture. An official IP certification was left out to save on money, but there is still water protection according to OnePlus. The alert slider is gone, which doesn't mean it won't come back on future devices, but it's gone on this one. I am glad the P2D50T lettering in the flash is gone, but I'm less happy about the plastic frame, which clearly feels like a cheap plastic. That makes the device less premium and stable, and it is not as if the OnePlus 10 Pro did not already have a, well, small weakness. On the other hand, the X-axis vibration motor and the stereo speakers are high quality, both are on flagship level. The OnePlus 10T has a 6.6-inch Full HD Plus OLED display with super thin bezels. Although the bottom bezel is a bit thicker, it is also thin enough that I can't seriously complain about it. The front looks elegant and modern. Because of the 1000 Hz touch layer, latency is so low that the content really sticks to the finger. Inputs are instantly. The color reproduction, contrast and black levels are also great. The following three things need to be improved. First, there's no LTPO or even LTPO 2.0. The refresh rate can only switch between 60, 90 and 120 Hz. You don't see anything of that, but it just consumes more power. Second, on the low brightness, the picture becomes a little bit pale. And third, the peak brightness of 950 nits is anything but impressive. The fingerprint sensor is unfortunately not one with ultrasonic, and the position is too far down, but it always recognized me quickly and super reliably. Soon Android 13 will be released, again developed in close cooperation with Oppo, but according to OnePlus, Oppo will move closer to Oxygen OS and not the other way around. Let's wait and see. Currently, it's still Android 12 and I have almost only positive words to say. Everything ran smoothly, quickly and stable. I find the quick settings visually a little bit old-fashioned, but I like that I can hide the app names. There will be 3 years of Android and 4 years of security updates. That's above average. The performance was crazy good at all times, because this is the first smartphone I tested with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor. It is no longer manufactured by Samsung but TSMC, and therefore has 10% stronger CPU and 10% stronger GPU with 30% lower power consumption. It also gets less hot, and OnePlus has enlarged the 3D cooling system to the size of an entire pizza box. Unfortunately, I can't confirm the better CPU performance in Geekbench, but the GPU very much. Where before the performance dropped by 70% after a 20-minute stress test, now it's only 15%. The Apple A15 is clearly outperformed at this point. The battery consumption in standby is great. I only lost 3% per night. I always got through a whole day with the 4800 mAh battery. Sometimes with 4, sometimes with 6 hours of display use. Strongly dependent whether I was on Wi-Fi or mobile data. That's slightly above average, but not the 30% improvement I hoped for. However, OnePlus still has an ace up its sleeve. The 10T has the most modern, longest lasting battery in the industry. It still has 80% capacity after 1600 cycles, more than twice as much as the competition, because the cell chemistry can heal itself. In addition, this battery can be charged from 0 to 50% in an absolutely incredible 6 minutes thanks to the 160 watts power supply. It is fully charged in just 19 minutes without any build-up heat to be worried about. This feature is not just a gimmick, it is a lifesaver and changed my charging behavior. Until Apple, Samsung and Google also have this technology, it will surely take years. Unfortunately, wireless charging is not available because it would have reduced the battery size. The first thing I noticed about the camera is that there is something missing. The Hasselblad logo. There's no collaboration stabilization, so no color science or modes. Strictly speaking, the camera system is that of a mid-range smartphone, almost identical to the OnePlus Nord 2T. There is a IMX766 50 megapixel main sensor with optical image stabilization and an f1.8 aperture. And because the 8 megapixel ultra-wide angle has neither an autofocus nor macro mode, there is still a 2 megapixel macro camera that looks like this. It could have been left out, but then this much too large camera element would have looked less spectacular, and of course that's a no-go. All in all, the photos are not bad. Relatively sharp with relatively high dynamic range, mostly accurate colors. But you notice that it is behind the 10 Pro, also the Pixel 6 and even the OnePlus 9 Pro. With the main camera I can accept that, but the quality of the ultra-wide angle lens is simply not up to the price. It is not as sharp, it is blurry really quick and cannot even record 4K videos. There's no optical zoom at all and strangely no 8K or 4K 120 FPS, although the Pro model can do it with a worse processor. Unfortunately, you can see in some places that OnePlus did not put much effort into this camera. Conclusion: the OnePlus 10T clearly focuses on speed in terms of the processor, the display and charging. It is like a gaming smartphone that does not look like a gaming smartphone but has the same strengths and weaknesses like a gaming smartphone. It costs 700 euros for 128 GB of storage with 8 GB of RAM, 100 euros more for double each. That is a little bit too expensive in my eyes considering the ultra-wide angle camera and the plastic frame. It seems a bit like OnePlus was on the right track and then stopped before the finish line. I hope they take the final step with the 11 Pro. That's it from me. See you soon. Bye.